much for the very brief but kind introduction. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. After listening to Lilet's lecture, actually, parang nahiya akong mag-English. We're in the same situation we're in. We cannot say no to a dear friend. Kaya nga, well, I guess both of us have a passion to give lectures. And when I was invited by Miss Marisa, for this lecture, how can I say no? No? And I'm very nervous dahil Tita Titas is here. Well, anyway, who among anybody here is the son of an OFW? Doesn't know. Okay. I'm sure as students sa Amos School, gusto nyo maging seafarer, tama ba? And eventually, you will become OFWs yourself. So, eksakto talaga yung pinili nating lecture. Kasi nung una, inisip ko, would it be appropriate for parents? Pero siguro, tapos na dapat, alam nyo na dapat yun. So, I think this will be more appropriate for would-be parents who will be leaving their families. Syempre, for good. Well, one of the major changes that had a direct effect on the Filipino family is global migration. Millions of Filipinos have decided to migrate to another land to seek for better lives. Syempre, bakit pa tayo aalis? Napakasarap ng buhay dito. I work with the National Bureau of Investigations, and recently I have been collaborating with our FBI friends. And they were so amazed when I said, why will you go to the States? Everything here is voice activated. Huh? Sabi niya, what's voice activated? Like if I need water, all I need to do is shout, water! Darating na yan. In the States, meron ba kayong ganon? So he was so amazed that I told him that when I wake up in the morning, my clothes will be pressed. All I need to do is start my car and that's it. So sabi niya, wow! So why is your wife in the States? Sabi niya sa akin. Parang nahirapan akong sumagot. Everybody here in this room would really want to go out of the Philippines to earn more. Okay. However, this financial gain for the country has resulted to various changes in the structure and composition of Filipino families, leaving countless of spouses, fathers, mothers, and children left behind by this phenomenon of global migration. How do they stay connected with their loved ones abroad? How do they cope with the loneliness of separation? Over the years, more and more Filipinos are working abroad for exactly economic survival. In Asia, the Philippines stands out as the major supplier of migrant workers to over 100 countries. In fact, there are now over 8 million Filipinos who are working or residing in 194 countries and destinations all over the world. In a study done by the SWS, revealed that about 1 out of 6 to 7 families have an OFW parent, which estimated that about 5% or more than 2 million Filipino children have 1 or 2 parents residing overseas. Much has been said about the economic contribution of and sacrifices of the migrant Filipino workers. Tawag nga natin sa kanila, hindi ba, bagong bayani. Sinasabi nila, kaya tayo medyo afloat sa economies because of our OFW families. Several studies have shown the significant emotional and psychological effects of the separation between spouses and their children. Leaving their families behind is the price that each OFW have to pay in order to gain financial strength, not only for their families, but for the economic survival of our country. Ang tanong natin, is it really worth it? Looking at the lecture, this 30-minute lecture will entail what the Filipino family is, the migrating spouse or parent, the non-migrating, tayo, yung mga naiiwan, and the children that are left behind. Traditionally, a family is comprised of a father who provides and a mother who nurtures. So, noong 60s and 70s, bihira sa mga babae ang nagtatrabaho. Ang mga kurso nga nun, ano ba? Home economics, tita-titas, ano ba tawag sa mga ganyang course noon? Kasi sila yung manager ng bahay. Pagdating nung asawa, domestic engineer, according to Miss Marisa. So, importante pagdating ng bahay, lahat ayos na. At noong araw, ang tatay o ang lalaki ng pamilya, siya ang nagtataguyod. The Filipino family is rarely nuclear, as it is comprised with extended families like the lolo, the lola, the auntie, the houseboy, the yaya, na hindi naman natin kamag-anak pero malapit sa atin. Filipino families are matriarchal in nature. We have the highest respects for our mothers, and the bond is so strong and solid that it goes on until adulthood. We call our mothers ilaw ng tahanan, nanay, mama, ina, inang, various endearing names and terms we have for our mothers. Several studies have stressed the importance of having a stable and consistent mother-child relationship, especially during the formative years of childhood. It is important that we develop a good attachment with them. Saan ba attachment? Diba? The biologically based bond between the child. The child ang naa-attach sa nanay. Kailangan ng bata yung nanay to survive. When nakikita natin yung mga kapatid natin, baby, how do they say that when they're hungry? Paano nilang sinasabi na nagugutom sila? Umiiyak. Diba? Paano nilang sinasabi kung basa ang lampi nila? So they are very dependent on their mom for their needs. So they need to be attached to somebody, kung hindi man yung nanay nila, yung yaya, yung lola. While bond is basically the emotional and psychological thing between the parents. So it refers to an intense emotional and psychological relationship a mother develops for her baby. So from the mom to the child, yun yung bonding. Smile ako. I'm so conscious with the camera eyes. Actually, I don't like it. Kaya mag-smile, pero okay. So, good attachment is a significant to a significant parent means having adequate and mature coping skills. Now, bakit ko sinabing eksakto na nandito kayo? You will be OFWs in the future. Kaya nga, tanungin natin, pag alis ko dito, yung bang maiiwan kong pamilya, ay maaaruga ba niya ang anak ko? Formative years of the child, 1, 2, 3 years of age is very important. Are you guys fond of watching Criminal Minds? So part of our work sa Behavioral Science Division is that. Maraming nagtatanong sa amin, Doc, dito ba sa Pilipinas meron na tayong serial killers? Maybe yes, maybe no, but wala pang documented. Pero bakit kaya sa Amerika nagpo-proliferate ito? Because both parents have to work. Naiiwan ang bata kung kanino lang. Minsan naiiwan sa tatay na meron din sakit sa isip o tatay na manginginom. So, namumulat ang bata sa murang edad sa violence, sa alcoholism, and sexual abuse. And we will talk about it later. So what is important is a good attachment between a mother and the child. In the absence of the mother, the father should attain the role. So, future OFWs, please be aware na in the event that you need to leave, make sure your wife understands or your husband will understand yung malaking responsibilidad na iiwan mo sa kanila. Filipino fathers, on the other hand, are considered haligi ng tahanan because they're supposed to be the strength, the pillars of the Filipino family. Traditionally, the mother depends on the father for provisions of basic needs, like what I said. In the mid-1970s until the 80s, we saw a dramatic increase of Filipino male migrant workers flocking the Middle East because of the petroleum boom. Madaming tatay o haligi ng tahanan ang umalis dito sa Pilipinas dahil kinakailangan nilang magtrabaho sa Saudi Arabia. So anong nangyari? Ang babae o ang nanay ang nagsilbing haligi ng tahanan dahil siya ang naiwan dito sa Pilipinas. The migrating spouse, the parent experience. Initially, when this lecture was being prepared, iniisip ko, will I be cognitive or experiential? So, looking at this picture, it's really very lonely. Like what I said, I'm a husband of an OFW. I only see my wife once a year. So, when I was going through this lecture, parang, will I be cognitive or will I be experiential? But I think I'm both. Marisa is smiling already. How does the migrating spouse or parent react when in another country? Denial. It's not a river in Egypt. So, usually, pag nagkaroon tayo ng loss, we deny it. Ang tawag natin sa Tagalog, pagtanggi. No, my wife always tells me, denial king ka. Tinatanggi mo lahat. Going home drunk, hindi ako lasing. Nakainom lang. So, I'm denial. So, when confronted with the reality of being separated from the family, the migrating parent or spouse seem to respond initially with denial, born out of helplessness. Wala akong magagawa eh. Ang sama ng pakiramdam ko, but I have to stay here. So I just deny my feelings na nasasaktan ako because I have to be here. I'm helpless. I cannot go back. I paid so much money dun sa agency that I have to recuperate my expenses before I go back. So kahit nasasaktan ako, kahit nalulungkot ako, I just have to deny my feelings and be strong. However, there will be conflicting emotions. Migrating parents seem to be in a dilemma between wanting to stay in the host country and away from their families or returning to the Philippines with my family pero wala naman kaming kinakain. So, conflicting emotions para sa kanya to cope with just like what I said. I will just deny that I'm feeling this and I have to move on. How does the migrating spouse react? Of course, undoing. Bibili ko ng bagong cellphone ng anak ko. Bibigyan ko siya ng laptop. Bago ang iPad 2, ipadadala ko sa kanya. This is what is called undoing. Pagtatakip ng aking pagkukulang. So, this is sometimes referred to as barrel children, because of the barrel of goods children receive from their migrant parents. I don't know what Marisa usually gets from Captain Oka when he comes back from travel. I heard kalahat, kung dalawang maleta, isang maleta kay Marisa lang yun para sa pasalubong. See, she's smiling. The migrating spouse and the parent experience, coping styles to loneliness and separation. Rationalization. Pagbibigay ng katwiran sa aking pagkukulang. So, sinasabi ng litrato, as long as I am providing for their needs, it is okay for me to work abroad. So, it is one way of cleansing my guilt. Diba? I'm far away, I can't even hug you, I can't even say I love you every day, pero nakapagpadala naman ako ng remittance ko, okay na yon. Nagre-rationalize na lang. These are coping styles. Sa nanay naman, as long as I get to talk to them over the phone, well, it's okay for me to work abroad. Pero, sapat ba? Sapat ba nung tumawag sa telepono? O kailangan tumawag araw-araw para ituloy ang bilin na huwag mong gagawin to, gawin mo yan, huwag mong kalimutan ito.